think a train will stop if it sees your car? You're right, it will a mile after it hits you. Stop, trains can't. We were talking with Joel Klatt at the USC Pro Day. Did you see what happened? Of course you didn't. We did. Guess who gave us a photo bomb? Did you guys see that? It's Sam Darnold. Hey, what are you guys doing
out
there?
Oh, he's waving to you.
I know he is. Hi, Sam.
That's nice.
That's very nice of Sam. Hey, Colin. Love the herd. What's up, man? What's up, guys?
Maybe saying hi to his mom.
Could be doing that. Great mom. Great fam. So, it's Nick Saban, as he's prone to do. One of his quarterbacks got banged up a little yesterday, and he's got two good quarterbacks. Kid from Hawaii is amazing. Jalen Hurts is really good. And so the kid from Hawaii got hurt yesterday. He was the one that won the national title with that throw against Georgia. And just Nick went into the press conference and didn't want to talk about it and got real salty, and here he is.
I know that every time I stand up here, you're all going to try to make something out of it that it isn't. I don't really have anything to say. I know you all want me to make something up that really isn't there so you can make a big deal out of this, but it's competition just like there is at every other position. So what we do is an individual, which is when you're there. So I should probably change this and let them go with the receivers while you're there, and then I'll work with them when you're not there. Then I wouldn't have to answer these kind of questions. Now, I'm sure your next question is how many reps is he getting and who's he splitting time with and who's he competing with and what team's he on and where's he at on the depth chart, none of which we have an answer for. So I'll just take the questions right out of your mouth.
Obviously, you changed over your coaching staff significantly. What was the overall?
I didn't have a choice.
I know.
I mean, you make it sound like I did it on purpose.
He does this about a half dozen times. Well, maybe 4 times a year, 3 times a year. He goes Salty Saban. Here's another edition of Salty Saban. I love this guy.
Do you do what everybody else in the media does, just create some and throw it on the wall and see what sticks? I never said that. Nobody in this building ever said that. So where'd you come up with that? Just, had a dream about it or what? I told you everything I know. So you can ask the bottle, but don't ask me.
Salty Saban.
That music.
Yeah, he's a little fired up. I think he comes into the press conferences certain days, and he just knows he's just in a mood, and he's just going to say he's not in the world's greatest mood. And I also think he can – this is like Bobby Knight. When you're in like Alabama or a small town or Lubbock, Texas or Bloomington, Indiana, and you're a media person, you can kind of power through the media. They're not going to push back a ton. And so he can do that. And when he gets in a bad mood, he just wakes up and says, I'm going to pick on the media a little bit. And it's actually, I don't think Saban's, I think he looks fantastic. I think he's like 67 years old. I thought he was going to step away in a couple years, but, Tom Brady's 40, and I think it's time. If I'm Nick Saban, I do this for another 5 years. I mean, he looks great. Like, some coaches look worn out.
Tom looks great.
Yeah, but Tom, playing 19 years, playing OTAs, practices, coach, yap, that is hard. Man, that is Saban. He gets to do all the barking.
Right.
I'd much rather be the barker than the barkee.
Well, maybe Tom's starting to bark. Like in the end of his Tom versus Time, he lets Giselle say that he wants to be appreciated.
I think that's a thing. I'm not saying she doesn't have. I mean, here's what a woman doesn't want to do. If a guy is a big professional guy, right? Mm-hmm. You don't want to force him out, and then years later he resents you. And I think, like, if you want somebody, you can express your opinion. Yeah. But if Giselle went out and said, listen, I think it's time, and then he felt pressure, kids, responsibilities, and quit, then 5 years later, does the marriage unravel because he's like, I gave up like 3 years of doing this?
Yeah, but he obviously had approval over that documentary. So if he didn't want her to say that, he would have had that taken out.
No question
So they clearly are in agreement.
That he's not getting the love from Belichick.
And that they wanted it out. So it's not Giselle's fault if he gets pushed out.
Can I show that Russell Westbrook end of the game thing again? God, I
disagree with you completely, by the way.
You think he should jack up crappy threes?
I don't think that was necessarily a bad move by him.
Leading by 3, have the ball, 10-year veteran, and that...
He felt like that was a good shot. Shoot or shoot.
He's the lowest-rated three-point shooter in the league.
He felt good at that time.
Yeah, he felt it all right. The problem is he took another 5. Here's a shot. This is a 10-year MVP, right? 10-year point guard. Lead by 3, your ball, minute left, no Kyrie, no Gordon Hayward, young kids. You're the senior statesman on the team. Paul George, Melo, Steven Adams, you. That's an awful shot.
You can't win them all.
But did he talk afterwards?
Oh, yeah, what did the announcers say?
The announcers got after him. I love that.
Yeah, Adam bailed out a tough shot by Russell Westbrook there. Rick, you kind of looked at me on that shot. It was a long one.
Well, that's where they got to be better right there, especially from Russ, your point guard, especially 1 minute left to go. Get to the free throw line at least. Don't settle for that long shot.
It's not good. It's not good. The other story from that game is Kyrie Irving is hurt and is looking for a second opinion, which bummed me out because I really wanted to watch Kyrie against Westbrook. That was the whole fun of the game last night. Instead, I watched Harden and Damian Lillard later, and Harden was, God, James Harden's good. James Harden. It's funny. If you go and you think about the all-time greatest players, you think basketball, you go to the gym, everybody kind of plays the same. It's amazing how Kareem, there was never another player that mastered the skyhook. And then Michael was probably the greatest athlete. And LeBron's a little bit inartistic, a little bit of a freight train. Westbrook is dynamic like Allen Iverson. Steph Curry is slender and more of a three-point shooter. I'm watching James Harden last night, and one of the things, I don't know what you really compare James Harden to. I'm not really sure. I watch him, and I don't think I've ever seen a player, a guard, that creates more free throw shooting opportunities. First of all, he's a lefty. That's different. He's not small. He's a thick, not that he's not in shape, but he's kind of a thick, lefty, beautiful shooter. His game's a series of hesitations. He is such a unique all-time talent. It's funny because I only saw him play one game of college basketball. I don't remember James Harden other than I saw him play in the tournament. You could look it up, John. If I recall, he didn't play well. That Arizona State, I think, got to the NIT or the NCAA, and I remember that vaguely, and he was nothing special. Because I live out west, so I follow Pac-12 a little more than a lot of other conferences. But, I'm watching Harden last night. I'm not sure we've ever seen anything like James Harden. And I'm a LeBron guy. He's the MVP. He is the MVP. As much as like Chris Paul, like D'Antoni, Daryl Morey, he has been absurd.
One day you're going to come around like this on Russell Westbrook.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, you did the same thing with Harden. So
Harden altered his game. Hey, we're into the second weekend of the tournament, the college tournament, baseball starting up, basketball playoffs, hockey playoffs, NFL free agency. You know what? It's a great time of the year. It's also a time where it gets warm and people start shedding clothes. And when they do that, you want to be in shape. How about M Drive? Built on science. It's a line of energy boosters built on nutrition and science, clinically tested, safe and effective, that boost your natural testosterone levels. You can get it online at buymdrive.com. You can get it at Walgreens, Duane Reade Vitamin Shop, GNC Sprouts prominently displayed. It's an energy sustainer, a vitality increaser, an endurance performing increaser. Refine your prime with M Drive. Good Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow in L.A. Wet L.A. It's the Herd.
The anticipation is right.